Hey y'all, it's Quita and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be doing this look and talking about a book. So y'all, I have been reading so many books lately, like that has just been my tea. And I was just like, you know what? Let's go ahead and join the booktube community. Let's also put a little beauty in it because, you know, that's what I do here. And I was just like, let's just do beauty and books. Let's talk about it. Put a little beauty spin on it because I don't think anyone's doing that. I know that I love Bailey Serum. She does like the murder mystery and makeup videos. If you do not know, please go check her out. I love her. So I was like, let me just do it where I'm talking about books and I'm also just giving you like some little beauty at the same time. So if you guys have not read The Inmate by Freida McFadden, I highly recommend that you read this book. Please go if you're a book reader, go support the artist by buying the book, whether it be a paper copy or an electronic copy, it does not matter. But if you are a book reader, I definitely recommend this book. I do rate about a 3.8. It wasn't anything so crazy, but it still was a really good read in between my fantasy novels that I'm reading right now. So let's get into The Inmate, y'all. I want to tell you guys exactly what happened in this book. If you have read this book, please comment anything that you know about this book, any of your emotions as you were reading this book or listening to this video, and just tell me at what point did you know who the killer was. Let's get into it. I'll make sure that I list my products down in the description box as well, just so, you know, if y'all are interested in a product, you will have it there in the description box, right? So, first off, we starting off with Miss Brooke. Okay. Brooke, her parents recently died, and they both died in a car crash at the same time, right? So Brooke went back to Rikers Island, where she's from, after a long time. She left the city after a huge scandal. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But she left there after a scandal, and she wanted to move back because her family left her the house. Now, I'll go ahead and tell you guys. The reason why she wanted to move back was because her son, who's 5 years old, he was getting bullied. Okay, so when the parents died, she was like, okay, well, we're just gonna move back to Rikers Island because instead of I'm broke, like I can't afford a house, so we're gonna move back into the house I grew up in. Now, what's crazy about this to me is that one, you could have easily sold the house and moved somewhere else, and two, he's 5 years old. Like, what type of bullying is going on, really? What are they doing so terrible to him that y'all have to move to a whole different city? Like, he's 5. This is the age. I'm just going to be real. This is the age where you have to make sure those little boys are standing up for themselves. Like, no, we're not bullies, but we're not getting bullied. Here's how to defend yourself. You know, tell the teacher, whatever the case may be. But I'm not going to teach you at 5 years old to run away. Like, this ain't Fresh Prince where, you know, they were going to be shooting and all that stuff at will. No, he's a 5-year-old. What makes it even more crazy is that where they moved to back to Rikers Island, remember I told you guys it was a whole scandal? Well, girl, the scandal was that her high school boyfriend, she was like a cheerleader. He was a football player. They was all, you know, little cute couple and all that, right? Wrong. He tried to kill her. Not only did he try to kill her, the same night before he went crazy, they had sex for the first time. He got her pregnant. That's his son. So now you've moved back to your hometown. But wait, there's more. Not only that, as she's trying to job hunt and she's trying to get a job, no one will hire her. Literally no one is going to hire her besides the prison where he's incarcerated. You tell me right now, does this make any sense? Because again, if you did want your son to move away and you did not have the money, all you had to do was sell the house to get the money to move somewhere else. I just don't see why you had to move back and work at the prison. Her childhood best friend is now the assistant principal. So when she goes to drop off her son, you know, she has to lie to him too and say like, oh, like she lied about his age. I forgot how old she said he was. But long story short, she couldn't say his real age. Why? Because they was going to put it together that was, you know, his son from that night. Because the best friend was there too. So anyhow, after all that, you know, he was like, oh, we should get together and stuff. And she's like, yeah, cool. Because, you know, she peeping it. She noticed he look cute now. So he liked her all them years back, but she didn't really like him. So she's like, okay, cool. You know, maybe we can get together. But at the time, she really not interested too much. But she's like, okay, maybe. So she starts the job at the prison. She go a couple days without seeing Shane. Shane is the ex-boyfriend that tried to kill her. So she goes a couple days without seeing him. But then, of course, it happens where, you know, of course, she's bound to run into him. She's the nurse at the prison, by the way, guys. So she sees Shane lipping down. He's been hurt or something. And Shane, at first, he's like mugging her. He's like, you know, he's pissed. But then his whole persona changes and he makes it, you know, kind of like smiling, like he's happy to see her. Now, all this time, by the way, it's good to know, all this time is that Shane has been saying he's been innocent all these years. He said that it was not him that tried to kill Brooke, but it was the best friend, the one that's the assistant principal. It was him. I have to remember his name. Tim. Tim is his name. So all this time, Shane is saying, no, I didn't try to kill you. It was him. It was, you know, the best friend. Now, mind you, she didn't start making little googly eyes at Tim. He comes at her like, oh, it's so good to see you, Brooke. I've missed you. I'm so glad you're doing well. Now, something that they've told her from the beginning is like, hey, don't be sharing information with these prisoners, right? But she crazy. She don't listen. Hopefully I can make this foundation shade match. It's a new foundation, y'all. But hopefully it comes together. If not, I'm exchanging it. First couple days already, she done told another prisoner that she was getting cool with in 2 days. That she wasn't married and that she has a son, right? Cool. So he already know. He comes into the prison he comes to the prison nurse station, whatever they call it, already knowing that she's not married and she has a son. Again, she has to lie to him about the son's age, so he doesn't realize that that's his son. Now, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, like, to me already, I got red flags going up, because if I didn't try to kill you, right, your testimony is what got me sent away to jail. I've done nothing but love you. And then now you're working at my job all these years later. Like, I am mad. I am pissed. I'm not smiling at you. I'm not wishing you well. I'm pissed. I've been in jail all this time for something I did not do. Make it make sense. Just kind of side-eyeing Shane like, ain't no way this girl then falsely accused you. And all of a sudden, you're just A-okay. You're fine. No, that's not reality. On top of that, the prison guard tells her like, hey, watch out for Shane. He's manipulative. She see in his chart that the last nurse before her said that Shane was manipulative and that he had a drug problem. But she was like, no, that can't be right, because I offered him pain medication. Like, I had to stitch him up. Like, I offered him pain medication and he has not taken it. Like, if someone was addicted to drugs, they would have taken it. So I don't know what that nurse was talking about, but she got it wrong. Shane is not addicted to drugs. But the prison guard tells her like, hey, watch out for Shane. I done told you. Like, because she's like, why is Shane shackled and no one else is shackled? You got Shane in shackles. You mistreat Shane. The prison guard did something to pretty much cause Shane to hurt himself even worse. Like, he split his head open or something, to where he had to come back to the prison nurse station and like had to stay under her care even longer. He's getting closer to him. Why I can't remember this guy's name. So she's getting closer to Tim. she didn't want to get close to Tim, but the babysitter for her son was like, hey, you got to start opening up. You got to start dating. I got the baby. And she would do phenomenal, like with the son. She would get off of work and dinner would be made. The house would be clean. He would have his homework done. Like, mamas, y'all know that's top of the line help right there. So she was like, okay, cool, I can start dating Tim, and I know that he'll be in good hands because babysitter got it covered. It's like flashing back between present day and, you know, like, I don't know, 8 years earlier or something, like when they were in high school, right? So her mom, Brooke's mom's and dad was very, very strict. They were strict. There was a girl that went missing a few months before she, you know, her attempted murder. And they were like, hey, we need you home at a certain time. Like, we're tracking you. We need to make sure that you're safe. You're where you're supposed to be. And by the way, don't hang out with that guy, Shane Nelson, because nah, he's trouble. Like, he's trouble. So she's like, no, he's a good guy. You know, all this crap. He's the star football player. He has so much going for himself. I love him. I'm kidding. She ain't said I love you yet. But still, that's how, like, that's the vibe. Like, you know how it is, like, when you're a child and, like, you're just not listening to your parents. And they be knowing. Like, they be knowing when somebody's up to no good. So, they knew that that Shane was up to no good. But she wasn't going. Like, she wanted Shane. She wanted Shane. So, 11 years earlier is when all this happened. And it flashes back. She usually gets dropped off like down around the corner, right? That's where Shane would drop her off, around the corner, so her parents didn't see them together. But this particular day, Shane drops her off right in front of Tim's house. So when she's getting out the car, Shane says, okay, see you tonight. And then Tim is like, what you mean he's going to see you tonight? Like, it's about to thunder. It's about to be a storm. You know your parents don't want you with him. Like, you shouldn't be with him tonight. You just shouldn't. You can come too. You know, we'll invite someone for you. We'll invite Kayla for you. Like, you can come, right? So he really don't want to go. But he just knows that he'll be able to better keep an eye on her and protect her from Shane, because he has like this weird vibe from Shane if he goes too. He really don't care about Kayla, but, you know, he just want to be there to keep an eye on her because, you know, this is his little girl next door crush that he has going. It's the night of. It is Shane and Brooke, they're coupled. It's Kayla and Tim, they're coupled. And then it's Brooke's best friend and Shane's best friend. They're a couple, so they're together, right? You know, they're doing what teenagers shouldn't be doing, and they're sitting around drinking. It's a storm. It's, you know, they start playing Never Have I Ever. Now, remember, Shane and Tim, they do not like each other. Like, they both want the girl. They both want Brooke. So they are just not really feeling each other. So, as they're playing Never Have I Ever, Tim says, like, never have I ever beat a boy so bad that he got sent to the hospital. So Shane is mad. He's like, wait a minute, you trying to call me out in front of my girl? Like, I got something for you. So Shane says, never have I ever been on a date with Tracy Guilford, something like that. Now, let me tell you, Tracy is the dead girl that was found murdered a few months earlier. Remember, that's an unsolved murder. And it's a little weird that Tim went on a date with this dead girl and he never said anything. Now, remember, him and Brooke is best friends. Like, best friend, you didn't tell me, you didn't tell the cops, you didn't tell anyone that you went on a date with this girl that was dead. That's a little awkward, you know. Fast forward present day. Again, her and Tim is dating. She's seeing Shane at the jail and she's just kind of like, dang, I remember that night. Like, I remember bits and pieces, and that's why, you know, they keep fast, you know, going back and forth with the storyline. But she's like, I am missing something from that night, and I'm just hoping that I didn't get Shane locked up and, you know, and he's been innocent all this time, right? So now she's like taking care of Shane inside the jail, and she's feeling bad for Shane, which is crazy. But she's feeling bad for him. Come on, brush. She's feeling bad for Shane, and she's just wondering, did she make the right decision or not? So she just keeps trying to remember that night, like, oh my God, what happened? Right? That's her. Like, I can't remember. Oh my God, I'm missing something. Well, I'll tell you. In a nutshell, on that night, everyone, you know, they got drunk, they went to sleep. Shane allegedly lost his virginity with Brooke. I say allegedly because he's a high school football player. I don't really buy into the hype of them waiting around, but hey, that's what Shane said, right? That they lost their virginity together. Anyhow, they're asleep. They wake up in the middle of the night from a scream. They go downstairs and they see that Tim's best friend is dead on the porch. He's been stabbed to death, right? So now everyone's kind of freaking out, like, oh my God, they don't know if somebody was just kind of, he was outside, maybe smoking or something, and someone passed by in the middle of the storm to kill him, or if it was one of them that killed him. So the girl Kayla, she's freaking out. She's just like, you know what, I'm going upstairs, I'm locking myself in a room, you guys can do what you want to do. And her best friend, they're on the back porch, they're arguing, trying to figure out what the heck they're about to do right now. Tim, he's on the couch. Shane is outside trying to get a signal because no one has cell service. Brooke and her best friend on the porch arguing about what they're going to do next. They go inside, they see Tim on the couch, and they say, okay, well, let's just go ahead and check on Kayla because Kayla's really freaked out right now. Let's just check with Kayla. Go upstairs, Kayla's dead. So now Brooke's best friend is freaking out. She's like, look, something's going on. Someone is inside this house trying to kill us. Let's lock ourselves in the room. So they lock themselves in the room, and like, even inside the room, they're supposed to be protected with each other. Start accusing each other. Kayla's like, well, Brooke, it could be you because you probably wanted the men all to yourself. You didn't want Kayla to have them. And then she was like, no, it could be you. So anyway, they're just bickering. Long story short, Brooke busts out the room because she's scared. She's petrified. She busts out the room. She's like, I'm just going to go downstairs with the men. You can stay here. I'm going to go with the men. Well, as she's trying to run down the stairs, she trips over what she believes is a body. And then she feels a body pressed on top of her, trying to choke her with her necklace. Now, this is a snowflake necklace that Tim had brought her. She feels this body on top of her and she smells sandalwood. So she's like, hey, I know Shane. This is Shane's body type. This is Shane's sandalwood cologne or aftershave or something that he would wear. And so she was like, Shane is trying to kill me. Oh my God. That led to her testimony that Shane tried to kill her. But she's like, something is missing. Something's missing. She's like playing back the story in her head. She's like, something is missing here. So present day, her and Tim is still dating. And as they're dating, he pulls out their high school yearbook. And in the yearbook, lo and behold, they see that the prison guard that she works with, they went to school together. They graduated together. And Tim was like, oh yeah, this is the guy. This is the boy that Shane beat up all those years back and sent to the hospital that I told you about. So now Brooke is like, that's weird. Like, why wouldn't he tell me? Like, he know who I am. He knows my relationship to Shane, and he knows that I shouldn't be working here. Oh my God. Right? So she called herself trying to boss up to the prison guard, but the prison guard in turn just used it against her and say, well, you have to do what I want you to do now because your job is in my hands. I don't know why she thought she was going to be on top of this situation. She was not. All this is happening. Shane goes and he like they were going on a date one night, and she smelled some sandalwood aftershave on him, and she freaks out, like, because it reminded her of, you know, the situation with the guy. So she's just like, oh no, you gotta wash that off. I cannot take that smell. So So Tim, when he washed it off, he didn't mind. He thought it was a little freakish, but he was like, okay, cool, no problem. I'll wash it off. You hate it so bad, I'll wash it off for you. Tim was cool about it. Also, during this time, it's really great to note that Tim, when they went on a date one day, Tim was the waiter. Like, long story short, Tim was saying that he had dated the waiter and they went on a couple dates, but he just wasn't really feeling her. Like, she wasn't his vibe. Long story short, they're dating. Everything seems to be going good. And the house, the babysitter keeps watching the son. They're going out. But again, as they're going out, she's also seeing Shane at the prison because she's having to still take care of him, tend to his stitches, and make sure he's okay. It's coming up to be her birthday again. And Tim gets her what he thought was a thoughtful gift. He gives her another snowflake necklace. Well, she freaks out because she's like, wait a minute, this looks like the exact same necklace. It's missing a diamond at the exact same spot. And like, how did you get this? So he's like, oh, I went to the flea market. Like, a lady was sold it at the flea market. It was, you know, it was fine. Just like, okay, that's freaky. This is exactly like the one that I used to have. And so she just kind of like, now she is growing closer to Shane while he's in prison, and she's eyeing Tim like, maybe I got it wrong. Was it you? But again, she's still dating Tim. And then what put the nail in the coffin is the girl from the restaurant that they ran into that he went on a few dates with. She went missing. So now, when we were kids, a girl went missing after you dated her, and then now we're adults and a girl goes missing after you've dated her. Like, what is going on here? Like, I get it. What is happening? She's just kind of like eyeing Tim like crazy, but Tim invites her over to his home one day, and Tim says, hey, go down in the wine cellar. It's really the basement, but that's what he called it, the wine cellar. So he's like, hey, go down to the wine cellar and pick out a wine. Well, when she's down there, she see a body rolled up in the carpet, and lo and behold, it's the girl that's missing. And so now I'm just like, why in the heck would you tell her to go down there? Are you about to kill her too? Like, why would you have her go down there? So long story short, she's trying to get out of there. He's trying to keep her there. But there's a knock on the door, and luckily it's the police. So she tells the police like, hey, I'm sorry. It's a body down there. Like, get me out of here. Help me. It's where she's going with this. Tim's like, what? Are you crazy? There's no body down there. Police goes downstairs. Sure enough, they find the missing lady's body rolled up in the carpet. So it's just kind of like, oh my goodness. Tim goes to jail. Shane gets out of jail because now she has reenacted her testimony, because she's like, I'm just going to reenact my testimony. I don't think you did it. Tim is the one that's associated with all these dead girls. I found the body myself. Bam, it's Tim. Come on, Shane, get out of jail so we can be a family. Now, at this point, she's also told him about the son. So it's like, come on, let's go be a family. So I'm going to read you, like, this is crazy, guys. This is absolutely insane. So she wakes up in the middle of the night. A car engine right outside my window, and something else, the garage door opening. I climb out of my bed, my head spinning. I navigate through the dark of the window that overlooks the front of my house. It's pretty dark out there with just dim light from the screen lamp. I can tell my garage door is closed. And are those tire tracks in the snow? I squint down at the front of my garage door, trying to decide if I should go check it out. Am I losing my mind? Why would somebody be using my car? The garage door is locked. Nobody is getting in there except from the inside. She does not go check it out. You have all these thoughts swirling in your mind, but you don't go check it out. You don't go make sure like that your home is secured. All you do is go check on your son, which he's in the bed, and then you go put your ear to the door where Shane is asleep, and oh, I hear him snoring. That's it. Okay. Well, the next day, they goes off to the farmhouse where everything happened. She did not want to go there. She explained to him that she didn't want to go there. He convinced her. She says, oh, I did all this time in prison because of you. You can at least give me a ride. They go there, and he's like, oh, do you want to come in, son? And of course, a child, he's like, yeah, let's go. So now they're inside of the farmhouse. They're cleaning for hours. The little boy, his nose gets dusty and he's sneezing and all of that. So Shane is like, hey, let me go take him outside for a walk. It's a cool area over there where we can play. And so she's like, I don't know about that. He says, well, after all these years, I haven't had time to spend with my son. You took that away from me. Why can't you just let me go spend time with my son? So she's like, all right, cool. Y'all go ahead and go in the woods. It'll be fine. Like, just keep your phone on you because I may call you, right? She's getting tired of cleaning. She's sitting down. She's scrolling on her phone. Y'all, guess who did? The prison guard. The prison guard that was mistreating Shane so badly, also the one that he tried to hurt enough to put in the hospital as they were kids, he's dead. Gone. Now, mind you, her car, something was going on with her car, but she doesn't know because she never went out to look. But her intuition is telling her, baby, go get your son from out them woods. Something is not right. So she calls him on the phone like, hey, you know, how y'all doing? Time to come back in. And he's just like, no, I just want to spend time with my son. Like, I haven't spent time with him in years. You've had all this time with him. It's my turn. I want to spend time with him. Yeah, I get it. But, you know, you guys been gone for a minute. Can you just go ahead and, you know, come on back? He say, no, it's my turn. You about to see how it feel to have your son taken away from you. Y'all, she done broke out to a run and fell. Because you know that's what You know that's what happened. Then broke out to a run and fell. Now she's limping, trying to get to the woods. So just like the night of the murder, when she had to run out, she sees a car approaching. So she gets excited. She's so happy. And she gets to the car, and guess who it is? The babysitter. She's so crazy trying to get to the son that it doesn't even dawn to her, like, why is the babysitter here? Why? So come to find out, the babysitter is Shane's mother. All that time is Shane's mother. Now, I'm going to be honest. So the story has it, I didn't say this at the beginning, but the reason why they was able to go to Shane's house, at the farmhouse that night, was because Shane's mom was going out of town with her boyfriend, and he would have the house to himself. Now, I did think that Shane and his mother had something to do with it, but I didn't have a motive. And this is why I say the book it wasn't mind-blowing. And the reason being is because you don't get a motive to the end. I guessed this earlier on in the book, honestly, but it just didn't make sense. There was no motive there. And so come to find out, the motive is Brooke's daddy had an affair with Shane's mother. And Brooke's daddy told Shane's mom that, oh yeah, we're going to be together. I'm going to leave my family. I'm going to leave my wife, and made all these promises that of course he did not keep. Well, she always blamed Brooke because the excuse the daddy gave was that it was, you know, he just couldn't leave his daughter. He wanted his daughter to grow up both parents. He just couldn't leave her, and that was that. When they were kids, Shane killed that girl. Shane killed that girl, Tracy. The one that Tim went on a date with. Shane killed her. And then also, in addition to that, he was supposed to be killing Brooke that night, but everyone else ended up getting invited and got in the way of it. But they were so gung-ho on doing it, and Shane was like, you know, I'll do anything for my mom, so I'm doing this. I'm gonna kill her, right? Because she stopped us from being a happy family. Because things didn't go well that first time around, she ended up killing the mom and dad. You remember Brooke's mom and dad died in a car crash? Well, that was her mother. The mother did that. Shane's mother did that. Shane's mother killed Brooke's parents in the car crash, which is crazy. You made it all these years, but I guess she just couldn't take it anymore of them being happy without her, I guess. But she said she also knew that was going to bring Brooke back in town, the death of her parents. So She sits there and she calls around to all of these places, giving her bad references, so she can't get a job anywhere but the prison. So it's just so crazy that the babysitter, she had her hand in this the whole entire time, and it was actually the grandmother. So she was like, she enjoyed spending time like that with her grandson. It was the best days, and they're going to continue those great days because she's about to kill Brooke. Well, something different happens. There was a struggle, and Brooke eventually shot the grandmother, but she didn't kill the grandmother. She just shot her. And at that point, Brooke is about to run back off into the woods, but the son comes, and the son is like, oh my God, mother. So he has gotten away from Shane. And Iceberg fell on Shane, and Shane is dead. Shane mom say, I don't have anything else to live for. Let me just tell you guys everything that happened from the beginning. This is my motive. This is everything that happened. This is everything I've done. And, you know, I've covered up, again, the beginning. I covered up the Tracy Guilford's, whatever, murder that my son did. I was a part of the whole scheme to get Brooke killed, but it didn't work out that way. I killed the diner girl and framed him, and she just told it all because she didn't have anything else to live for. The only thing she was living for was for Shane and the hope that they would be a family again, right? So when she didn't have that, she just did a tell-all, honey. At the end of the epilogue, I think it's just like a little final twist at the end of a book. The son, he heard Shane on the phone talking crazy to his mama, and he was just like, hold on, wait a minute. So he said, oh, an iceberg fell on Shane. No, he took some type of big iceberg, knocked Shane out, and then pierced his head with it or something. Long story short, he killed his daddy. And so he said, because I'll do anything for my mom. And that's the exact same mindset Shane had when Shane was killing and doing all that stuff to get revenge for his mom. So that was so crazy. Like, again, I give the book about a 3.8. It wasn't just a crazy book, but it still was a really good read book. I definitely recommend the book for anyone. And if you have seen this book, please comment. Tell me, what do you think? Like, what was the most mind-boggling part for you? Who did you think did it? And at what point did you realize it was Shane? Or if you didn't realize it was Shane? So just let me know. Personally, I was maybe a third. I was back and forth between Shane, Tim, and then maybe about a third of the way of the book, I looked to my fiance and I said, you know, the book is called The Inmate. It has to be Shane. And so at that point, I stuck to Shane. I didn't flip-flop anymore. So it was so crazy. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. This is my very first video that I've done in so long. So please come back, join me. And I'm looking forward to many more. Got some other books coming up because I just read. And if there's any books that you guys want me to do, please let me know.